Have you ever looked at someone close, a friend, neighbor, or family member, and wondered what's pulling them away, even though their smile is still there? In life, appearances can mask profound changes, where small habits quietly creep in, pushing others away and dimming joy and connection. We often blame time, wrinkles, or a slower step, but the truth lies deeper, in daily actions no one warns us about. These habits, like silent shadows, can make life lonelier and harder without us even noticing. But what if you could spot them, just by paying attention and making a change? At Elders Wisdom, we bring the light of wisdom to help you rebuild relationships you thought were lost, living fully with joy and purpose. Join us to explore 12 rarely discussed habits, from small complaints to stubborn silence, with simple yet powerful ways to overcome them. Habit number 7 will surprise you. Most overlook it until it costs them dearly. Subscribe, hit the bell, and share this video with someone you care about to embark on this journey together. Stay until the end for a challenge that could transform how you live starting today. Let's begin, where mystery leads to simple truth, bringing you closer to connections filled with love and happiness. Habit 1. Becoming too negative or critical. Picture Julie, a retired librarian who once warmed her community like a glowing fire, her radiant smile like sunlight, and her stories drawing everyone in. Her home was alive with laughter, friends gathered close, and grandkids buzzing around her. But then, like a cloud drifting silently by, something shifted. Julie started to complain. Morning knee pain made her mutter, "Why do I have to deal with this?" Negative news on TV prompted sighs. The world's gone downhill. Talking about younger generations, she'd scoff. "Back in my day, we had more respect, not like now." These small grumbles, at first harmless as a passing breeze, became a deep-rooted habit, like ruts in a well-worn path. Friends began dodging deep conversations, sticking to brief exchanges to avoid her rants. Her grandkids, once eager to visit, made excuses, their visits dwindling. Julie didn't see it. Negativity, no matter how justified, is like a heavy stone, dragging others down and pushing them away instead of drawing them close. The truth is, no one wants to leave a conversation feeling worse than when it started. Psychology backs this up. Repeated negativity reduces empathy, creating an invisible gap between people, per a 2018 study in the Journal of Social Psychology. When you complain constantly, even about minor aches or the state of the world, listeners don't just get tired, they pull back, like avoiding an approaching storm. Julie didn't mean to push people away. She thought she was just being honest. But that honesty, tinged with negativity, became a wall blocking love. Ask yourself, when you walk away from a conversation, does the other person feel uplifted or weighed down? Do your words spark joy or snuff it out? To break this cycle, start with positivity, like planting a tiny seed in your heart's garden. Instead of leading with complaints, say, "I woke up feeling good today," or "Last night's sunset was gorgeous," like a painting. These simple, powerful words are like sunlight slipping through a crack, warming the room. Limit complaining. Give yourself 2 minutes to vent. Then shift to something constructive, like sharing a good book or a tasty meal. Most importantly, replace criticism with curiosity, a trait that reflects the kindness loving hearts cherish. When your grandkid raves about a new app, instead of saying, "We didn't need that stuff in my day," ask, "What's cool about it? Tell me more." That question doesn't just start a conversation. It builds a bridge across generations, reviving closeness. Julie tried this, and it felt like magic. She began conversations with gratitude, sharing a nice day or a happy memory. She asked her grandkids about their interests, listening with an open heart. Suddenly, friends lingered longer, talks grew deeper. Her grandkids opened up, bringing lively stories. Positivity is magnetic, like a magnet drawing people close, creating moments of love everyone craves. A 2020 study in the Journal of Positive Psychology found expressing gratitude boosts relationship satisfaction by 25%, brightening even ordinary days. Try starting a conversation with something upbeat, even a small compliment or a beautiful moment you noticed. Watch how others respond, their smiles, their eyes lighting up, showing you the power of positivity. If negativity creeps in, take a deep breath, Remembering your words are a gift, able to ignite or dim someone's joy. The energy you put out comes back, and when you choose positivity, the world responds with love. What energy will you share today? Try it, and you'll feel the difference, not just in others' hearts, but in your own. Habit 2. Neglecting personal hygiene and appearance. Imagine Julie, a retired librarian who once entered a room like morning sunlight, wearing vibrant blouses, a gentle summer-scented perfume, and neatly styled hair like a perfect painting. Every outing radiated confidence, earning compliments from strangers and warm looks from friends. But then, like a painting fading over time, something changed. Julie began questioning, is it worth the effort? Who am I trying to impress? These whispers, small at first, became excuses to let go. She wore baggy, wrinkled house clothes all day, rarely glanced in the mirror. Her hair tangled like it forgot to brush. Strangers, who once smiled, now passed her like a shadow. Friends who used to invite her for lunch or movies called less, their invitations sparse as autumn leaves. Julie felt a deep void. She no longer recognized the vibrant woman in old photos, the one who lit up every room. She wondered, where did that woman go? The truth, like a ray cutting through fog, is that caring for your appearance isn't vanity. It's self-respect, a way to honor yourself, no matter your age. Psychology proves it. How you present yourself deeply affects how you and others see you, per a 2020 study in the Journal of Positive Psychology. When Julie skipped the mirror, choosing house clothes over her favorite blouse, she didn't just lose others' attention. She lost confidence in herself. Each time she neglected brushing her hair, showering, or small details, she sent a message, I don't matter. But the truth is, you deserve care and love, first from yourself. Appearance isn't just looks, it's how you tell the world, I'm still here, I'm alive, I'm me. This habit is dangerous because it's subtle, like water wearing down stone. When you stop caring, others sense distance, not because they're shallow, but because humans connect through small signals, a confident smile, a tidy look. Julie didn't mean to pull away. She thought, no one cares. But she didn't see that neglecting herself dimmed her joy. Friends' fewer invitations and strangers' passing glances weren't just others changing. They reflected how she saw herself. A 2021 study in the Journal of Mental Health found personal care boosts life satisfaction by 25%, as it strengthens self-esteem and opens doors to loving connections every heart craves. To break this habit, start small, like planting a seed in barren soil. Each morning, wear clean, tidy clothes, even at home, a shirt that makes you smile, comfortable but neat shoes. Shower, brush your hair, clip your nails, or spritz a favorite perfume. Wear an old watch, earrings, or anything that feels alive. These acts, simple as a quiet prayer, tell your soul, I'm worth this. Julie tried it, slipping into her beloved green blouse, adding a touch of lipstick, brushing her hair neatly. Stepping out, she got smiles from strangers, warm looks from friends. But the real magic was in the mirror. She saw that radiant woman again, not just because of her looks, but because she chose to love herself. Try choosing something that sparks joy, a scarf, a shirt, a scent, and wear it with pride. Notice how you feel, lighter, more confident, like a door opening to a new day. Others will respond, not because they notice your shirt, but because they feel your energy. The energy of life, of self-respect. Caring for yourself is an act of love, not just for you, but for those you want close. What message will you send the world today? Start now, and confidence will ripple out, drawing you closer to warm connections and a world full of joy. Habit 3. Being stubborn and resisting change. Imagine Julie, a retired librarian who was once the heart of family gatherings, where laughter and stories flowed like a spring river. She cherished her old habits, sitting by the landline waiting for her kids and grandkids to call, or reading the morning paper, with the belief that if something worked for decades, why change? But then, like a cold breeze slipping through a cracked door, the world began to shift. Her children and grandchildren switched to texting instead of calling, sharing photos and good news in online group chats. Julie brushed it off, her voice firm. If they want to talk, they can call. I don't need that tech stuff. She ignored their offers to teach her how to text, as if clinging to old habits meant holding onto herself. But the calls grew rare, like leaves falling silently. She missed out on pictures of her great-grandkids, funny texts, and lively birthday wishes in the family group. Julie didn't realize. Her stubbornness wasn't just about technology. It was about love, about the invisible threads tying her to those she cherished most. Stubbornness, like a solid stone wall, quietly rose between Julie and a changing world. She didn't mean to distance herself. She just thought her old ways were enough, that the new world wasn't for her. But each time she refused to try something new, she closed a door to joy and connection. Psychology shows that resisting change increases social isolation, per a 2021 study in the Journal of Social Psychology. When you cling to old ways, you don't just stand still, you let loved ones drift away, like a ship leaving the dock you refuse to board. Julie felt loneliness creep in, but she blamed her family. Why don't they call anymore? She didn't see that her stubbornness built the distance, turning moments of love into distant memories. Ask yourself, when you resist change, are you protecting something or losing precious connections? This habit is dangerous because it's subtle, like water eroding stone over years. The world keeps moving. Technology, habits, and how people connect all evolve. When you close your heart to newness, you miss more than skills. You miss moments that give life meaning. A photo from a grandchild, a funny text from a child, or a story from a young friend. A 2020 study in the Journal of Mental Health found openness to change boosts relationship satisfaction by 20%, as it aligns you with the world's pulse, nurturing the love every heart craves. Julie didn't realize that saying "I don't need it" was saying no to those she loved, to her own joy. To break this wall of stubbornness, start with a simple phrase, "I'll try." Instead of "I don't need it," open up, like a window letting in sunlight. Let your grandkids teach you to text or watch a favorite show with them, even just one episode. These small steps aren't just learning skills. They're building bridges to those you treasure. Julie tried it, letting her granddaughter teach her to text. She was surprised at how easy it was. A few taps sent a heart to her great-grandkids. Daily, she got photos, funny texts, and jokes that made her laugh out loud. She felt part of the family again, like the days when her home rang with laughter. A 2019 study in the Journal of Family Relations found learning from younger generations increases family bonding by 30%, creating timeless moments of love. Try it today. Learn something new, even small, like sending a text or trying a dish your grandkids suggest. Watch how they light up when you're open, how your heart feels lighter with connection. If you feel hesitant, remember, openness isn't giving up yourself, it's honoring love, like a quiet prayer for closeness. Julie learned that change isn't loss, it's rediscovery, finding joy, finding family. What door will you open today? Start now, and you'll see the threads of love weave tighter, drawing you closer to a world full of light and joy. Habit 4. Hoarding and refusing to let go of clutter. Picture Julie, a retired librarian whose home was once a warm haven, where friends gathered around the tea table and grandkids scampered through sunlit rooms. Every corner held a story, birthday cards from decades past, stacks of newspapers she swore she'd read, old clothes kept just in case. Julie, sentimental at heart, held onto everything for its emotional value, as if letting go meant losing a piece of her soul. But then, like a garden overrun with vines, the home she loved became a maze of clutter. Bookshelves overflowed with papers, closets burst with ill-fitting clothes, and hallways brimmed with items, making every step a challenge. Julie felt stressed, hesitant to invite guests, and each time she searched for something, she felt lost in her own home. She told herself, everything has value, but deep down she knew. Clutter wasn't just taking up space, it was weighing down her mind, blocking the joy of the present. The truth, like light slipping through a dusty door, is that clutter isn't just physical, it's a mental burden. Psychology shows hoarding increases stress and clouds mental clarity, per a 2020 study in the Journal of Mental Health. Each item Julie kept, from faded cards to outdated shirts, tied her to the past, preventing her from embracing the now. She didn't mean to turn her home into a maze. She thought holding on was safe, a way to preserve memories. But clutter, like a silent thief, stole her peace, making her reluctant to open her door to friends or live in a space once her pride. Worse, clutter is dangerous. A 2021 study in the Journal of Family Safety found cluttered homes raise the risk of falls and accidents, turning a sanctuary into a hazard. Julie didn't see that by clinging to objects, she was holding onto heaviness, pushing away joy and loving connections. Ask yourself, does your home nurture your soul or weigh it down? This habit is dangerous because it's sneaky, like roots digging deep into soil. Each time Julie said, "I might need it someday," she built another wall between herself and the world. Friends stopped visiting, not because they didn't care, but because the cluttered space felt stifling, like stepping into a story with no way out. Julie felt lonely but blamed others, not seeing that her attachment to the past locked the door to joy. A 2019 study in the Journal of Positive Psychology found decluttering living spaces boosts satisfaction by 25%, as it frees the mind, making room for loving moments, like tea with friends or grandkids' laughter echoing through the house. Letting go isn't loss, it's reclaiming freedom, like a bird escaping a cage. To break this habit, start small, like picking a pebble from a heavy stream. Clear one drawer, one shelf, one corner. Ask yourself 2 simple questions. Do I use this? Does it bring me joy? If the answer is no, let it go. Donate usable items to those in need. Recycle what's useless, or pass heirlooms to family to keep memories alive. Julie tried it, clearing old magazine stacks, donating clothes that no longer fit, and reorganizing her living room. She felt lighter, as if shedding an invisible weight. Her home grew brighter, safer, and for the first time in years, she confidently invited friends over, hearing laughter echo like old times. A 2020 study in the Journal of Living Environments found tidy spaces increase peace by 30%, like a quiet prayer for the soul. Try choosing one item you haven't used in ages and let it go. Notice the freedom as space opens up, like sunlight flooding a dark room. If it's hard, remember, letting go isn't loss. It's a gift, giving yourself a peaceful home and others a chance to use what you don't need. By releasing the past, you open your heart to new joy, gatherings, moments of love. What will you let go of today? Start now, and your home will be more than a place to live. It'll be where your heart soars, connected to a world full of light and happiness. Habit 5. Losing patience too quickly. Imagine Julie, a retired librarian beloved for her gentle warmth and open heart, where people found comfort in the stories she shared. In her vibrant days, Julie was patient, a warm smile for a child slowly returning a book, a gentle word for a struggling colleague. But as years passed, like a river blocked by stones, her patience began to wear thin. Small changes crept into her life, turning the woman who once radiated sunshine into a breeze tinged with sharpness. One afternoon at the supermarket, Julie stood in a long line with a full cart, her eyes impatiently tracking a young cashier. He fumbled with bags, hands trembling, slower than she wanted. Frustration flared like a small flame, and before she could think, Julie snapped, "Can you hurry up? I don't have all day." The harsh words spilled out, and she saw the cashier's eyes drop, his hands shaking more as he tried to finish. A heavy silence followed, and a wave of regret washed over Julie. He was just a newbie, trying his best on his first day, and she, once patient with the world, had hurt him in a moment of lost control. The truth, like light-piercing thick fog, is that impatience doesn't just hurt others, it hurts us too. A 2020 study in the Journal of Emotions shows impatience spikes stress, triggering the body's fight or flight response, raising heart rate and blood pressure. Each time Julie let frustration win, she didn't just push others away. She added an invisible burden to her heart. She didn't mean to become irritable. She just felt the world move too slowly for the pace she once knew. But those impatient moments, like pebbles dropped in a lake, sent ripples far, blurring the loving connections she valued. Julie's friends began avoiding long visits, keeping talks short, fearing her emotional storms. Her grandkids, who once loved her stories, grew hesitant to visit, wary of scolding for small mistakes like spilling water or replying slowly. Julie didn't see that her impatience, even in fleeting words, built an invisible wall, separating her from those she loved most. This habit is dangerous because it's subtle, like a tiny crack in a wall, only noticeable when the house starts to crumble. As we age, the world seems to slow or speed up, and what was once easy can spark frustration. A slow cashier, a dawdling driver, or a grandkid slow to text back can trigger impatience. But pause and ask, is this worth trading your peace for? A 2021 study in the Journal of Social Psychology shows patience not only lowers stress, but boosts relationship satisfaction by 25%. When Julie snapped at the cashier, she didn't just hurt him. She trapped herself in a cycle of stress, making her day heavier. But when she chose patience, something magical happened. Another day, at the same supermarket, Julie saw the young cashier again. As he struggled with bags, she took a deep breath, smiled, and said, "Take your time, you're doing great." His face lit up, his hand steadied, and he replied with a bright smile, "Thanks, ma'am, you're so kind." That moment not only brightened his day, but left Julie feeling lighter, as if an unseen weight had lifted. Patience is a gift, not just for others, but for yourself. It's like a cool breeze, clearing clouds and bringing calm. To cultivate patience, start small, like planting seeds in your heart's garden. When frustration rises, breathe deeply, count to 5, and ask, is this worth getting upset over? See things from another's view. The slow cashier might be new, the dawdling driver, an elderly person being cautious, the grandkid slow to reply busy with homework. A 2019 study in the Journal of Family Relations found patient people build stronger relationships by 30%, creating space for understanding and love. Julie applied this beyond the supermarket in her family. When her grandkid was slow to respond, instead of scolding, she asked, "What's keeping you so busy? Tell me about it." That question sparked a warm conversation, and she learned her grandkid wasn't ignoring her, just juggling school and friends. Try it today, like a promise to your heart. Next time you feel frustrated at the store, on the road, or with family, pause, breathe, and choose a smile over a snap. Say something kind, like "no rush, take your time," or "thanks for trying." Watch how others respond. A grateful glance, a soft smile, or a small but meaningful connection. Julie learned patience isn't just waiting, it's an act of love, like embracing the world instead of pushing it away. A 2020 study in the Journal of Mental Health found patience cuts cortisol levels, stress hormones, by 20%, helping you live lighter and healthier. By choosing patience, Julie brought joy to others and rediscovered her own peace. Talks with friends grew longer, visits with grandkids overflowed with laughter, and her heart warmed with the glow of connection. Your challenge today, note one moment you choose patience over frustration. Maybe it's smiling at a stranger, listening to a grandkid's long story, or breathing when things don't go your way. Jot it in a journal or share in the comments to spread inspiration. One patient moment can transform a day, not just yours, but those around you. Julie saw light in the cashier's smile, her grandkid's laughter, and her own calm. What patient moment will you choose today? Start now, and the world will respond with love, like sunlight streaming through a window, illuminating every corner of your life. Habit 6. Talking too much, not listening. Imagine Julie, a retired librarian who was once the heart of family gatherings, her laughter and stories flowing like a river. She loved sharing tales, memories from her youth, life lessons, or advice brimming with care. But as years passed, like a breeze rippling a calm lake, Julie's habits shifted. She didn't just tell stories. She dominated conversations, turning them into her own stage. During calls with her daughter, Julie often interrupted, jumping in with similar anecdotes or unsolicited advice. "When I was your age, she'd start, cutting her daughter off. Her daughter, who once eagerly called weekly, began contacting less, their talks shrinking to brief pleasantries. Julie didn't realize that in her effort to share, she was stealing others' space, making her daughter feel unheard. One day, her daughter said plainly, "Mom, I love you, but I don't feel like you listen." The words hit like a ray through fog, startling Julie. She hadn't meant to push her daughter away. She thought she was adding value. But the truth is, talking too much without listening is like closing the heart's door, blocking loving connections. The truth, like sunlight slipping through a crack, is that listening isn't just hearing sounds. It's a profound act of love. A 2019 study in the Journal of Social Relationships shows active listening boosts relationship quality by 35%, creating space for understanding and empathy. When Julie hogged conversations, she didn't just make her daughter feel ignored. She built an invisible wall, turning moments of closeness into distant memories. This habit is dangerous because it's subtle, like water eroding stone. Julie thought she was connecting, but each interruption or imposed advice pushed loved ones away. Her friends began avoiding long talks, wary of being swept into endless stories. Julie felt lonely but blamed others, not seeing that her lack of listening dimmed the glow of connection. To break this habit, treat listening like a precious gift, like planting seeds in your heart's garden. Balance talking and listening. After a few minutes of sharing, pause and ask, "What about you? What's been fun lately?" Avoid interrupting, even if you have a great story. Instead, ask open-ended questions like, "What's made you happiest this week?" to invite sharing. Julie tried this in her next call with her daughter. She let her speak fully, listening with an open heart, nodding and asking more. The call stretched longer, filled with laughter and stories from both sides. Her daughter opened up about work, worries, and small joys, things Julie missed because she was too busy talking. In that moment, Julie realized listening isn't just hearing. It's saying, "You matter to me." A 2020 study in the Journal of Positive Psychology found active listening increases communication satisfaction by 25%, building bridges of love between hearts. In your next conversation, with friends, grandkids, or a stranger, focus on listening more than talking. Put your phone down, look into their eyes, and let them finish before responding. Ask an open question, like, "What's got you smiling lately?" and listen with curiosity. Notice how they light up when they feel heard, how your heart feels lighter with deeper connection. Listening is an act of love, like embracing someone without words. Julie's calls with her daughter grew longer, friends shared more, and her home echoed with laughter again. Your challenge. Today, note one moment you choose listening over talking. Share it in the comments to spread inspiration. One moment of listening can transform a relationship, brightening ordinary days with love and closeness. Habit 7. Pushing people away instead of asking for help. Emphasize shocking. Imagine Julie, a retired librarian who was once a symbol of independence, always proud of handling everything herself. A tidy home, carefully prepared meals, and helping neighbors, all proof of her strength. But as years passed, like a wind shaking a sturdy tree, her independence became a burden. One afternoon at the supermarket, Julie struggled with a heavy bag, her hands trembling and back aching. A young man with a friendly smile stepped forward. "Need a hand, ma'am?" Julie, by instinct, gave a strained smile and said, "No, thanks, I've got it." But as she dragged the bag home, she was exhausted, a deep loneliness welling up. She didn't realize that in rejecting help, she wasn't just refusing a hand. She was turning away a chance for loving connection. This habit, seemingly harmless, is a shocking trap most older adults overlook, until isolation creeps in, like darkness swallowing a once bright room. The truth, like light cutting through the night, is that asking for help isn't a sign of weakness. It's a courageous act that opens the door to closeness. A 2021 study in the Journal of Social Psychology shows accepting help boosts social bonding by 25%, creating meaningful moments of sharing. When Julie pushed others away, she didn't just tire herself out. She built a wall between her and the world. Friends stopped offering help. Her grandkids hesitated to check in, fearing rejection. Julie felt lonely but blamed others, not seeing that her pride locked away the threads of love. This habit is dangerous because it's quiet, like a small crack spreading, leaving you alone in a crowd without knowing why. To break this habit, see asking for help as a gift, not just for you, but for others too. When offered help, say, "Yes, thank you," with a genuine smile. Or take a lead. "Could you help me with this?" Julie tried this when she saw the young man again at the supermarket. She smiled. "Could you carry this bag for me?" He gladly lifted it, and they shared a brief chat, a warm moment that made Julie feel seen and cared for. Asking for help doesn't just ease physical burdens, it warms the heart. A 2020 study in the Journal of Mental Health found connections through help cut loneliness by 20%, like sunlight chasing away clouds. Try accepting or requesting a small favor. Ask a grandkid to set up an app, a neighbor to carry something. Notice how your heart feels lighter, how another's smile brightens your day. Asking for help is strength, like opening a door for love to flood in. Record one moment you ask for help and share it in the comments. One small act can change your world. Habit 8. Being too frugal to enjoy life. Imagine Julie, a retired librarian who lived with admirable caution. She clipped coupons, weighed every expense, and always kept a savings just in case. Her frugality was once a point of pride, helping her navigate tough times. But as years passed, like a river slowly drying up, Julie's thriftiness became an invisible cage, trapping her joy. One morning, her best friend, Emily, called to invite her on a weekend trip to the countryside. "Julie, it'll be so fun. We'll eat good food, see beautiful sights, relax." Julie smiled, but a wave of anxiety surged within. It's too expensive. What if something happens? She declined, citing busyness. And as she hung up, an emptiness crept in. Julie didn't realize that in her effort to secure the future, she was missing the present. Moments of laughter, precious memories no money can buy. Her home was comfortable, but her heart lacked the spark of joy. The truth, like sunlight filtering through trees, is that saving is important, but living isn't just about stockpiling. A 2018 study in the Journal of Happiness shows spending on experiences, travel, dining, or concerts increases joy by 20% compared to material purchases. When Julie said no to the trip, she didn't just miss pretty views. She missed laughing with Emily, stories over coffee, and the vibrant feeling only experiences bring. This habit is dangerous because it's quiet, like a thief stealing happiness bit by bit. Julie thought she was protecting herself, but each no to joy pushed her into a monotonous cycle, where days passed without memorable moments. Her friends stopped inviting her, not because they didn't care, but because they grew tired of her refusals. To break this habit, give yourself permission to spend on joy, like planting seeds in your heart's garden. Set a small budget, just a few dollars a month, for experiences like a nice meal, a short trip, or a dance class. Ask yourself, if not now, when? Julie tried this, agreeing to go with Emily. Over those 2 days, she laughed more than she had in a year, felt warm sun on her face, and savored the sweetness of country cooking. Watching the sunset, she realized this was why she saved, to live, to love. A 2020 study in the Journal of Positive Psychology found experiences boost satisfaction by 25%, creating lasting memories. Try planning a fun activity this week, a dinner with friends, a park stroll, or a favorite movie. Notice how your heart feels lighter, how your smile returns. Joy is a worthwhile investment, bringing light to ordinary days. Challenge. Share your chosen activity in the comments. One moment of enjoyment can illuminate your whole life. Habit 9. Putting down younger generations. Imagine Julie, a retired librarian who was once a bridge of love in her family, sharing laughter-filled afternoons with her grandson Ethan. But as years passed, like a breeze blurring memories, Julie began viewing younger generations through a critical lens. One day, Ethan excitedly shared about a new app he loved. Julie, out of habit, sighed, "Back in my day, we played outside, not with this stuff." The words seemed harmless, but Ethan fell silent, his eyes dropping, and soon he made an excuse to leave. Julie didn't realize that in that moment, she wasn't just criticizing an app. She was hurting Ethan, pushing him away. His visits became rare, and Julie wondered why Ethan was no longer as open as before. The truth, like light breaking through clouds, is that criticizing younger generations doesn't foster understanding. It creates distance. A 2019 study in the Journal of Family Relations shows disparaging remarks weaken family bonds, wounding young people's self-esteem. When Julie said things were better before, she unknowingly made Ethan feel his interests were worthless, as if his world didn't matter. This habit is dangerous because it's subtle, like a small crack spreading, turning moments of love into estrangement. To break this habit, replace criticism with curiosity, like opening a door to a young person's heart. Instead of judging, Julie asked Ethan, What's cool about this app? Tell me about it." His eyes lit up and he eagerly shared about his game, leading to hours of talk and laughter, just like old times. Connecting across generations is a precious gift, warming both hearts. A 2020 study in the Journal of Positive Psychology found curiosity boosts family closeness by 20%. Try asking a young person about their interests, a game, song, or app. Listen with an open heart. Share a related story. Watch how they glow, how shared joy blossoms. Caring about younger generations builds bridges, drawing us closer together. Habit 10. Holding on to grudges and regrets. Imagine Julie, a retired librarian who once brought light to others through her stories, now trapped in the shadows of her past. An old argument with a close friend, a wrong choice from years ago. These memories haunted Julie like ghosts. Each time they surfaced, her chest felt heavy, as if carrying an invisible boulder. She wondered, why did they do that to me? Or if only I'd chosen differently. These questions offered no answers, only stole her present joy. Her once lively home, filled with laughter, grew quiet, as Julie let grudges and regrets cloud the brightness of today. She didn't see that clinging to the past changed nothing, only distanced her from those she loved and from herself. The truth, like sunlight piercing dark clouds, is that grudges and regrets are like slow poison, harming both mind and body. A 2021 study in the Journal of Mental Health shows holding grudges increases stress, raises blood pressure, and weakens the immune system. When Julie dwelt in the past, she didn't just lose her smile. She pushed friends away, her conversations heavy with complaints. This habit is dangerous because it's silent, like water wearing down stone, trapping you in painful memories instead of a vibrant present. To break this habit, accept that the past can't be changed, but you can choose the present. Ask, what did I learn from this? Forgive, not to erase others' wrongs, but to free yourself. Julie tried writing a letter, pouring out her grudges and regrets, then tearing it up. As the pieces fell, she felt lighter, as if shedding a heavy load. A 2020 study in the Journal of Positive Psychology found forgiveness reduces stress by 20%, bringing peace. Write one thing you want to release, a feud, a mistake, then burn or shred it. Watch your spirit brighten, like sunlight flooding in. Forgiveness is a gift to yourself, restoring smiles and connections. Habit 11. Ignoring health issues. Imagine Julie, a retired librarian once brimming with vitality, always busy with friend meetups and caring for her grandkids. But as years passed, like a breeze dimming a light, Julie began ignoring small signals from her body. Brief dizzy spells? She brushed them off as just aging. One morning, descending the stairs, dizziness struck, and Julie fell, racked with pain and panic. An ambulance rushed her to the hospital, where doctors warned. Those dizzy spells signaled dehydration and low blood pressure, potentially leading to severe consequences if untreated. Julie was stunned, realizing she'd taken her body for granted. The cost wasn't just pain, it was lost freedom, relying on others during recovery days. The truth, like light cutting through fog, is that ignoring health issues is like walking a tightrope, where one misstep can lead to disaster. A 2020 study in the Journal of Medicine shows minor symptoms like dizziness, chest pain, or prolonged fatigue can signal serious conditions, such as stroke or heart disease. By dismissing her body's cues, Julie didn't just risk her health. She dimmed days that could have been filled with joy. This habit is dangerous because it's silent, like a tiny crack in a wall, only visible when the house collapses. To break this habit, listen to your body like a trusted friend. Don't ignore dizziness, chest pain, or any signal. Schedule regular checkups, stay hydrated, and exercise gently. Julie took action. She booked a doctor's visit, joined a balance class, and carried a water bottle everywhere. She felt stronger, like reclaiming herself. A 2021 study in the Journal of Public Health found proactive healthcare cuts hospitalization risk by 25. Schedule a checkup or note a symptom you've ignored to discuss with a doctor. Feel the reassurance, like sunlight pouring in. Being proactive is freedom, a gift to yourself. Habit 12. Stopping the search for joy. Imagine Julie, a retired librarian who was once the center of lively gatherings, her laughter ringing like a symphony. But as years passed, like a painting fading, Julie slipped into a monotonous cycle. Her life became a loop, watching news, cleaning, sleeping. Her once radiant smile grew rare, like a faint star in a night sky. Julie didn't see that in the hustle of routine, she'd stopped seeking joy, letting her heart wither. Her once laughter-filled home turned quiet, and she wondered, where did my joy go? The truth, like sunlight breaking through clouds, is that joy doesn't come on its own. It must be chosen and nurtured. A 2019 study in the Journal of Emotions shows a lack of joy harms health, raising stress and weakening immunity. By living monotonously, Julie didn't just lose laughter. She lost vitality, making friends visit less and grandkids linger briefly. This habit is dangerous because it's quiet, like a cold wind snuffing out a flame, turning life gray. One evening, her friend Emily invited her to watch a comedy. Hesitant at first, Julie agreed. Laughter erupted. She clutched her sides, tears streaming from joy. That moment, Julie realized, joy is medicine, and she could choose it. She began making time for fun, playing old music, dancing in the kitchen, gaming with grandkids, or reading a funny book. Each small step revived her like a dry tree blooming. A 2020 study in the Journal of Positive Psychology found joy boosts mental health by 20%, fostering connection and happiness. Do something that makes you laugh. Watch a comedy, dance, or play with grandkids. Watch your heart shine, like sunlight flooding in. Joy is a choice, a flame to be kindled. This journey through 12 bad habits isn't about judgment. It's about lighting the path to joy and connection. From Julie's complaints to her quiet stubbornness, we see how small actions can push others away, but also how tiny changes, a smile, a thank you, trying something new, can bring them back. Each habit you recognize, each step you take, is a brick building a life that's authentic and full of meaning. Number 7. Refusing help reminds us that love begins with openness. At Elders Wisdom, we're here to share wisdom to help you live with an open heart, where joy and connection blossom. Subscribe, hit the bell, and share this video with someone who needs it. Take this challenge. Pick one habit from the video and change it this week. Maybe smile at a cashier, text a grandkid, or let go of an old item. In the comments, share what resonated most and what will you change today. Together, we don't just live, we live vibrantly, with relationships that brighten every day. Here's to a journey filled with love and laughter.